The rabbit hole. The rabbit hole. The rabbit hole. The rabbit hole. Looking at now, let me stop. No. Hey man, we in the rabbit hole. We in the rabbit hole. Don't worry. Because it ain't no gravity in the rabbit hole. There's no bottom to the rabbit hole. Pause. You know what I'm saying? When you jump in the rabbit hole, don't be scared. Just calm down. You gonna float. And if you want to get out of the rabbit hole, just reach over to the side and pull yourself up on the wall. So today, we gonna talk about the truth about slavery. What really took place during slavery? Oh, they had people chained up. Oh, they had people locked up. Oh, Uno G is about to tell you what really took place. What was really going on during the time of slavery. Try to keep this short and sweet. I usually say I'm gonna try to keep it short and sweet, and they end up going on 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. But let me go ahead and break it down, right? So back then, what I mean by back then, I'm talking about during the 1800s. They had a prison system, right? And the prison system was set up for people, prisoners of war, right? And what was going on in these prisons was they didn't have no men and women's prison, right? So everything was together. The men was together, the women was together, right? And what would happen is in these prisons, you know, they was work prisons. You know, they had people working the same shit they do now, right? And in these prisons, it was families in the prison. And so let's just say if they was sentencing people to servitude or whatever, because, I mean, you're a prisoner, right? So, I mean, how long they gonna tell y'all where you gonna be a prisoner for so many? But what was happening was, okay, let's just say you had to do so many years of servitude. And this is when it changed from being servitude to a life term, right? The life term came in when them people who was in the prison was having babies, that baby would be a ward of the state. You know what I'm saying? A ward of the prison. You know what I'm saying? They belong to the prison. So now just imagine, okay, you got, let's just say a woman go to prison, right? Let's look at it now, 2025, a woman go to prison, right? And it's men and women prison. The man ended up getting her pregnant. Now, the woman, she got 5 years, and the man, he only got a year left. You know what I'm saying? Or he just got a month. He got a month, and he link up with the chick who doing the 5 years, and get her pregnant. They end up having a baby, right? That baby that come out of that situation is going to be a permanent prisoner because it was born and conceived in the prison. So the baby, what's going to happen with the baby? Well, the prison looking at it like, oh, well, that's our baby. So look, PK, y'all can leave, or you can leave. The man can leave, but the woman and the child stay with me. I own the child. I mean, you got to think the woman not gonna leave because that's her baby, so she's staying there, right? And then you got the man. He got the option to leave. Kind of got the option not to leave, but back then, a lot of times you got the kid. I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna stay here with my. Or what they'll do, they'll try to grab a woman with the baby and try to get up out of there. They'll try to run away. So it wasn't necessarily that the man was running away, but you stealing property now, right? So they sit there and said like a runaway slave the whole time. It was a prison break. It was a prison break. Well, no runaway slave. It was a prison break, man. You had people, you know, they go there. You got to think. The prisons ain't how the prisons used to be. The prisons ain't how the prisons is now. You know what I'm saying? You had prisons that'll be wide open in the middle of a field. You got, you know, you got the patrol people walking around the prison. You know what I'm saying? See, people got to keep in mind, man, in this American history, that America is a war country. This ain't no slave country. This is a war country. So everything that's going on here is either you in prison or you out of prison. Well, now it ain't no prison no more, because it ain't like we fighting wars now. The wars is over with, right? So they call it prison now. But whole time, realistically, these prisons that we're going to now, these are psych wards, man. These is crazy homes. Yeah, these crazy homes. These ain't no prisons. On the real, these ain't no prisons. I mean, it's countless wars. I mean, from the War 1776, the War 1812. I think they had another war in 1820. And that's not even to mention the battles that was going on in between, like, and the wars that took place before 1492. We talk about a war zone. You know what I'm saying? This was a war zone, flat out. Real. Let's keep going on what took place. Let's keep going. So now we get up to 1863, if I'm not mistaken. That's when the Civil War started, right? And what ended up happening, see, for those of y'all who know who we are, for the most part, y'all know we lost the Civil War, right? And you know what? No, I'm gonna dive into it. We lost that Civil War, and we had to move around. You gotta think. The Civil War, I mean, the Union Army consisted of majority foreigners. The majority foreigners in a Union Army that was coming in from overseas, right? And so now the problem with what the Confederate problem was that a lot of the Confederate was people that came here in the 1600s, came here in the 1700s. So you got to think, by the time 1863 come, we talk about 4 or 5, 6 generations. And then, I mean, if you look at it for 1492, even though the Civil War was only probably limited to, you could almost say, east of the Mississippi River, a little bit of west. They ain't really go too far west until after the Civil War. You know what I'm saying? That's where you get the Wild Wild West and all that stuff. You have the cowboy stuff going on and all that. But where we at? So okay, so the Union problem, I mean the Confederate problem was at this point, I mean, you ain't really got soldiers no more. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these people now that was soldiers in the, let's just say in the Revolutionary War and the War 1812, these people have become, we talking about from 1776 to 1863, that's about 90 years later. So you can almost look at like 2 generations or almost 3 generations removed from the Revolutionary War. So at this point, we talking about a people that's not really revolutionary no more. They're not really fighters no more. You know what I'm saying? They more so farmers. You know, I mean, at this point, you know, you got the whole system. We had the government set up at this point. You know what I'm saying? And at this point, we talk about the government only being from 1776 up to 1863. We talk about a government that's only 1776, 1863, 3 to 7.